Good morning, everyone!
Hello, my name is Paolo del Rosario, and we're so excited to be here with you as we are now midway through the week. We can't wait to finally get to that second half, and we're going to give you some news that you can use right now.
Hello there, beautiful people. Rise and shine. Let us make this day a great one with some laughter, inspiration, and unstoppable energy. And I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always more fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. This week is flying by.
I know it's Wednesday already. It's crazy.
It feels like Tuesday.
It does not.
Oh, I know. How does Wednesday feel like?
It feels like it's right smack in the middle of the week.
Like we're almost there, but we're not.
Yes. Like you're almost done, but not really.
I don't know.
But then you're looking forward to Thursday because that leads to Friday.
But Thursday always feels like a Friday.
Yes.
Always.
So what does Friday feel like?
Relief.
Yay! It feels like yay!
Friday.
No, it's funny because I never ever thought about describing what a Wednesday is. Or what a Tuesday is. Thursday, feeling mo, gets mo kasi malapit ka na sa Friday. But then I never really thought of describing a Wednesday.
Wednesday is like hopeful because you're almost there, but you're not.
Or for
Isn't
some
that Thursday?
people,
No, Thursday
sometimes
is like
that's Thursday.
Well, for me, it's Wednesday.
I think for some people, Wednesday is like a struggle day. Like, ang tagal naman mag-Friday.
You see, that's a completely different
That's
feeling.
well,
Exactly,
it's per
right?
case basis.
So again, guys, let us all know what you feel, what Wednesdays actually are, diba? You can, if you have violent reactions, go message at Boys Talentita. If you have even angrier reactions,
at Paolo
Monique
del
Tuzon.
Rosario.
Alright, then para sa mga chill lang, at Paolo del Rosario.
all
po.
the violent comments at Paolo
Para
del
sa mga
Rosario.
relaxed lang.
Relax,
and of course,
okay.
and of course, if not, if you have even more or if you have more thoughts on this, sa Billionaire News Channel Facebook page na lang.
Yes.
Diba? Or sa YouTube natin. Ngayon ka lang nalaman na minsan may nako-comment sa YouTube natin.
Not just
I
on
don't
the
even
YouTube
check
page,
YouTube.
but while we're live on Facebook, they actually leave messages.
No, Facebook, yes. I think that's, nagulat lang ako,
That you can do that
it's on
Facebook
YouTube.
too?
On YouTube.
No, on YouTube. That
YouTube.
people
I mean,
are
YouTube.
actually commenting
Yes.
over on YouTube.
I did
Because
not
some
know
people
that.
may have been competitive during our trivia. And
I did not see.
Yeah, so
Okay.
some people were rooting for some people, and I swear it was not my partner. It wasn't MJ, but
Oh, okay. I was like,
she was the one who brought it up. It's like, some people were cheering on some of you guys.
Oh, that's so
oh,
cool.
Yeah.
oh, thank you. I need to check on that. Hopefully,
you know-
no violent reaction.
I feel like people are busy in the morning, so they can't really have time to leave messages on Facebook. But when you check it, they actually leave messages. So I think it would be nice. Maybe sometimes our prod team can write down those messages and we can read
Hindi,
them
baka
on
masyadong
air.
konti rin kaya...
It's just MJ comment.
They're random people. So parang, okay, so they're watching live.
So by
And
the
then
way,
they
guys, if you
type.
leave comments and you have any concerns, Anne always reads them.
I have a new game. I have a new game that I think we could do.
Game
not
din,
a
okay.
game, pero audience participation.
Oh,
Makes
sige,
me
go.
nervous when
No,
Paolo
because
has an idea.
she's a voice talent artist. So
okay, so what do we do?
They should add on what they want Anne to say.
Okay, we can do
What
that.
they want Anne to say in her VO voice.
Or
Yeah, sure.
differentiate her voice, depending on the mood.
No.
Yeah, that would be a
for
good
example,
one.
if they want her to recite the recipe of adobong puti or something like that,
Yeah,
then
pwede.
she can recite it. Why not?
No, and read it in sad, surprise, happy, depending on the emotion.
Kailangan may direction
Yeah.
din.
May
direction.
acting,
Oo.
ingredients.
So we can really test her.
1 cup of vinegar. Mga ganon.
Daming audition ni Anne for the show. Are you auditioning for music
Direk,
or
i-clip
acting?
natin to direct ha. Kasi malay nyo, siya yung susunod na star sa...
Somewhere.
Give me a prod company that would love her.
Oh my
Sa
gosh.
TBA, baka siya yung kasasama siya sa Quezon bigla. Diba? The upcoming film. But anyway, let's stop talking about our hopes and dreams.
Yes.
And talk about the reality of today.
Yes, because we have news that you can use this morning. You were talking about adobo, and one ingredient for adobo, which is very, very important, is garlic. Now, imported garlic may soon have a maximum suggested retail price, or MSRP, as the government moves to address price distortions in the food supply chain. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel says garlic prices remain stubbornly high, which retails at 140 to 150 pesos per kilo. This amid the easing of the prices of rice, pork, and fish. The Agriculture Secretary says there is a need for potential price caps as 95% of the garlic in the market is imported. Laurel explains some importers are selling at 110 pesos a kilo, even if shipping costs are only around 80 pesos.
The Philippines is entering the second quarter of the year with growing business confidence. According to the Bangko Central's latest business expectation survey, the confidence index rose to 45.4%, up from 40.3% in the previous quarter. Malacanang says the rise is a positive signal, which reflects strengthening trust in the government's economic policies. It adds the momentum could boost fresh investments and business activity in the new quarter.
The businessman involved in the viral road rage incident in Antipolo City is now facing murder charges. This comes after the death of one of the riders involved in the shooting. The suspect says he acted in self-defense, but a witness says this was not the case.
Wala po, nasa kanya na mismo. Kung ano yung pinagsusuntok siya, yun parang hindi na makapagtimpi. Yun, inano niya na lang.
Nasa baywang niya na yung baril?
Nasa baywang niya na po, nakalagay dito. Kung ano yung hindi siya makaganti, pinagsusuntok na siya ng mga rider pinagtulungan siya.
The police says that while the suspect's firearm has the necessary requirements, the COMELEC confirms it is not exempted from the election gun ban.
We are also aware doon sa nangyari din kanina, halimbawa sa may bandang Antipolo, yung road rage, and pina-verify natin initially, wala namang exemption na naibigay sa COMELEC. So kung ano yung binabanggit niyang tao na meron daw siyang dokumento, baka permit to carry o kaya license, but definitely wala pong lisensya yon.
The judicial process should be respected in the case of former President Rodrigo Duterte. That's according to Duterte's defense counsel, Nicholas Kaufman. In an interview with BNC's attorney Karen Jimeno, Kaufman said that while he welcomes the influx of support from the former president, he said politics should be set aside.
Can have a negative impact on the proceedings if, as I said, the media or the supporters turn against the judicial. This issue is the subject of intense debate in the Philippines, but let's just put the politics on one side and the judicial process on the other side.
Duterte's defense is working on an appeal for his interim release, but have yet to decide when to file it before the International Criminal Court.
Interim release is a right, and it can only be tempered by three factors. The first of which is the risk of flight, the second of which is the risk of interference with witnesses or with the evidence, and the third of which is the risk of continuing crimes. None of those factors exist in the present situation, so there is a right for Mr. Duterte to be released. We are working on that, but the timing of when we intend to introduce such an application is yet to be decided.
Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque makes light of attempts to block his asylum bid in the Netherlands. Roque says that all he needs to prove his political persecution is to show how the House of Representatives conducted their hearings in the Quad Committee.
Come on, need I tell you what I underwent in the Philippines under the hands of those buffoons in Congress?
Well,
Anyone who watches the proceedings will know, including the 3 times when I appeared and participated for 10 hours each time and the subsequent hearings, no? What do you call that if not political persecution?
Roque seeks asylum in the Netherlands after the House of Representatives Quad Committee issued an arrest order citing him for contempt and failing to justify his sudden increase in wealth.
Cabinet members will no longer attend the Senate hearing on the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte. In a letter to Senate President Chis Escudero and Senator Amy Marcos, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin said that matters pertaining to executive privilege have already been thoroughly discussed. Bersamin explains a sub judice rule may be violated if the hearing pushes through, with 4 pending petitions at the Supreme Court. Senator Marcos says she is disappointed with Malacanang's decision.
Alam niyo, maraming tanong pa rin, meeting pa rin kasi preliminary report lang naman ang kinaya ko. Marami pa rin katanungan ng taong bayan. Ang dami nga nagte-text, nagtatanong. Tapos, marami din bagong informasyon na sana maging pagkakataon para yung mga magulong sagot, yung hindi magkatugma-tugma ng mga datos, at saka yung mga katanungan ng taong bayan, sana pagkakataon yun para maisagot ng ating gobyerno.
The second hearing of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee is set tomorrow, Thursday, April 3rd.
Commission on Elections doubles down on its Oplan Baklas targeting illegal campaign materials. These include oversized posters, those hung on trees, and outside common poster areas. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia says confiscated materials will be sent to BJMP for recycling. Garcia also says they will be stricter in monitoring election hotspots like Abra.
Abra, lagi na lang yan. Konting-konti na lang yan sa Abra na yan. At don't test the patience of the Commission as far as this province is concerned. We place Abra under COMELEC control in 2022. We place Abra under COMELEC control in the barangay and SK elections. We will not hesitate to place Abra under COMELEC control once again kung ganyang matatakot ang mga mamamayan at may mga buhay na nasasakripisyo.
One of the petitioners before the Supreme Court hopes for better crafting of the country's budget for 2026. Speaking with BNC's On Point, UP School of Economics Associate Professor Cielo Magno says public discussions on what they consider as faulty provisions in the budget should pave the way for clearer parameters during the budget hearings. Magno's group is questioning this year's lower budget for education, zero subsidy for PhilHealth, and intervention of lawmakers in providing financial aid to their constituents.
That's what frustrates me about this budget. So that's why, aside from filing cases in the Supreme Court, I keep on questioning it and discussing it because, as I said, it's a blueprint. It reflects an agenda of a government in terms of what kind of development, what kind of programs are we prioritizing.
In world news, the Trump administration begins its mass layoffs of 10,000 staffers at U.S. health agencies, including FDA, CDC, and National Institutes of Health. This is part of a broader plan by U.S. President Donald Trump and billionaire ally Elon Musk to shrink the federal government and slash spending. Health Secretary describes the cuts as essential to streamlining a bloated bureaucracy. However, concerns grew after it included the ouster of top scientists overseeing public health, cancer research, and vaccine and drug approvals. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has instructed the Justice Department to pursue death penalty against Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old man accused of murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in December last year. Mangione faces federal and state criminal charges in Manhattan federal court, where Bondi said prosecutors will aim for the death penalty. If Mangione is convicted in the federal case, the jury would determine in a separate phase of the trial whether to recommend the death penalty. The judge would be required to impose it if any such recommendation is unanimous. Mangione's lawyer called the decision barbaric and political.
Many Filipinos in Thailand and Myanmar are among those affected by the recent earthquake. On Bilyonario's newsfeed at noon, one Filipino recounts that it was her first time experiencing such a severe earthquake in her 40 years in Thailand. She was at a hotel for a business meeting when the tragedy struck and was immediately evacuated.
So we were outside, we were looking at the two buildings, and it was swaying like softly. And then one of them said, let's run further because, it might crash down. But luckily it didn't. But we had to wait for at least 2 hours until the hotel staff or the management team decided, okay, I think there's no more aftershock. I've never felt that kind of feeling before. It's like, all of a sudden, am I going to die? It's like, am I, because of my health or whatever? I didn't even think of, earthquake or whatever, because we've never experienced it in Thailand.
Annabelle praises the Thai government for their quick and decisive response.
The Thai government have been very active in telling all owners of condominium and high-rise buildings or offices or hotels to be wary. If they can work from home, better work from home. Because they requested everybody else to take a look. If there's any damage, report it right away.
What is it like to return to Earth after more than 9 months in space? For 2 NASA astronauts who experienced it, it is definitely weird. Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams share their story in their first news conference since coming home last month. They characterize their unplanned journey as a lesson of resilience.
First and foremost, we were always coming back, and I think people need to know that. And we're back to actually, share our story with so many people because, it's like you all mentioned, it's slightly unique, and there's some lessons learned to it. And part of that is just resilience and being able to take a turn that was unexpected and make the best of it. And I think that is the biggest thing that I want to, pass down, particularly to kids who think that their life should be the straight arrow to what you want to do, and you're just going to get there. Well, sometimes it takes some turns, some rights and some lefts, and you just keep focused on your goal, and other doors might be open for you. So.
The 2 were launched to space in June for what was supposed to be an 8-day mission to test Boeing's new Starliner capsule, but their homecoming was delayed after the capsule suffered technical issues. The astronauts plan to visit Boeing this week to discuss what happened.
Certainly there's responsibility throughout all the programs, and certainly you can start with me. Responsibility with Boeing? Yes. Responsibility with NASA? Yes. All the way up and down the chain. We all are responsible. We all own this.
Over in sports, EJ Obriena proves once again why he is the best pole vaulter in Asia. The Filipino Olympian topped the Taiwan International Pole Vault Championships. Obriena cleared 5.50 meters on his third attempt to come out on top. Now, this is despite the fog conditions, which he says he only saw 10 meters ahead of him. The men's world number 4 says the victory is a great start as he prepares for the outdoor season. Here at home, the Creamline Cool Smashers proving once again their dominance in the PVL All-Filipino Conference semifinals. The Grand Slam Queens bounced back against the Akari Chargers with a sweep on Tuesday at the PhilSports Arena in Pasig. Pangs Panaga led Creamline with 13 points built on 10 attacks plus a block and 2 aces. In the next day, the Petrogas Angels outlast the Chocomucho Flying Titans in 4 sets. Brooke Van Sickle top scored for Petrogas with 17 points on 16 kills and a block. BVS also posted 12 digs and 22 receptions.
Now in entertainment, updates for Marvel's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man on its upcoming big screen outings. Spider-Man Brand New Day is the name of the web-slinger's 4th solo film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tom Holland reprises his role as Peter Parker as he navigates life after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man Brand New Day is scheduled to be released on July 31, 2026. And here are new images from Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Shameik Moore and Haley Steinfeld will reprise their vocal roles as Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. The third part of the Spider-Verse animated film franchise is set to hit cinemas June 4, 2027.
It seems so far away.
I know, when I read the date, 2026, I said, oh my gosh, that's like... 2027.
The animated is 2027, and then
It's a long time.
the other movie 2026.
Yeah, 2026.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I'm a huge fan of Miles Morales. And it's just so great seeing.
Can you say that again when the
Miles
camera's on?
Morales.
What?
Miles Morales. So I just really enjoy that animated series. I mean, like it caught me by surprise watching the original one, Into the Spider-Verse, and it's just fantastic all throughout. And I think it's just so rewatchable.
I do love the animated series. I watched it for the first time. I do love like the original Spider-Man.
Peter Parker or Miles Morales for you?
Who?
Miles Morales.
Guys, if you hear there's a list, there is a list somewhere there.
Peter Parker for you.
I like Peter Parker still.
You like Peter
OG.
Parker? Okay, no, I understand.
But I do love Miles Morales.
Gwen Stacy also, because the supporting cast of the animated one is just so good. I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
but
the animated one's good.
Apart from that, it feels like Spider-Man is such an old IP, an old property, but there's something a bit more throwback as well that we have to turn to.
Yes, that's right. The cast of the 4-part Beatles biopic has been revealed by director Sam Mendes. Paul Mescal will play Paul McCartney, Harry Dickinson will be John Lennon, Barry Keoghan has the role of Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn is George Harrison. Mendes says that while the band's rise to fame is well chronicled, there's still plenty more to explore. The biopics will be released as 4 films in April 2028. Now, this is interesting because it is actually the very first authorized biopic of the Beatles. So it marks like the first time that Apple Corp Limited, the company that handles all the Beatles businesses, and Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney and the families of John Lennon and George Harrison, they gave rights to this biopic. And all those 4 movies are going to be shown in theaters simultaneously.
Guys,
like
Anne did
four.
her research
Yeah,
before
because I love the Beatles.
I know I'm excited for the biopic, but then the one thing I completely forgot that I need to research on right after the show. I completely forgot how Apple, the technology brand, had to fight the Beatles for the name of Apple because of the Apple Corp. And there was a legal battle about that. I completely forgot, and that's all I could think about right now.
I didn't even know.
But watch out for that film coming out in 2028.
We'll all be watching.
And it's a great
Spider-Man.
cast. Yeah, and it's a great cast,
100%.
right?
Like, yeah, they look legit.
But do they sound legit?
That's the real question.
Yeah, that's
are they lip syncing or are they going to be actually singing?
They're probably going to be really singing. Barry Keoghan is taking up drum lessons just so he could, really get the role. And then Joseph Quinn, I don't know if you watched him on Stranger Things, where he did that really good guitar number. He's great on guitar, so he's perfect as
Stranger
George
Things have happened, so we'll see whether or not they do sound like the Beatles.
Yes, and thank you so much to our movie analyst, Anne, over here. But coming up next, we got to go big or go home. That's the mantra of our guest this morning. CEO, marketing expert, and leadership speaker Sean C. tells us his inspiring story as we catch up with him after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. You're still watching. It's a beautiful day. The best one to give business advice will always be a successful entrepreneur. And this morning, we'll hear straight from a CEO, marketing expert, and a leadership speaker to inspire us to get to our best game yet. Welcome to the show, Sean C. It's a beautiful day, Sean. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Monique, Ms. Anne, Paolo. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you. We love having you here.
Absolutely. It's a more beautiful day because you're here. So we really appreciate you being here with us. I mean, like a lot of people, you're going to be part of an event happening very, very soon with such illustrious speakers. We put you now alongside Ating Pangilinan, Francis Kong, Sir Francis Kong, and so many others. You take a look at that lineup. First of all, how does it feel to be part of that? And second, you look at your achievements so far. What would you say would be one of the reasons why, hey, maybe that's why I'm on the stage with them?
Okay, so do you want the real answer or the PR answer?
We can do the PR and the real one.
Let's do a PR.
So let's do both.
Okay, so the PR answer is, The event is by JCI Manila, and we try to get the best speakers to come into play. And the reason behind that is because we really want businesses to flourish and grow, because the backbone of any good economy are businesses, especially SMEs.
Yeah.
And the truth about why I'm in the lineup is because I'm a director of JCI Manila. And they have no choice.
Honesty is the best policy on this show.
That will be our answer. Okay.
Oh, magandang suman. We're off to a great start.
I know.
No, so they were telling me, and this is my first time to be on the board, and every year changes.
Right.
So this is my year to run. I'm running under President Adrian Padiernos. And I have a fantastic board to run with. And so they told me, Sean, we need to have a business event.
Right.
So that we can have it, we can bid it to NatCon and try to win awards with it. And it has to be big, it has to be different. And I thought, you know what? I've been doing public speaking since 15 years ago. But I used to really suck at it when I was starting.
Yeah.
And I practiced and got experience, and the lineup became friends of mine. They're personal friends of mine.
You know, it's funny because Anne and I were talking a while ago that you have on your site and on your your bio data, 4 businesses, 36 years old, and just doing so much, right?
I know. You are a CEO, you're a digital marketing expert, you're a leadership speaker. Could you give us more of like a background for those who don't know you yet?
So my name is Sean, and we can start with that. No, and when I was starting out, I actually studied in De La Salle University, but I wasn't a good student. I failed 28 units.
Hey, let's talk later.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. Very. All right. Go on.
So I almost got kicked out. So I was looking at my resume and I was like, who's gonna hire this guy? 28 smiling face. And I was virtually unemployable. So I started a blog, and the blog's name is God in You. I'm a born again Christian. I would write my philosophies there. I would write my journey as a single Christian guy. And not a lot of people were reading my stuff. So I searched around, how do I increase my readers and subscribers? This thing called SEO kept popping up. So I studied it, applied it, and I said, maybe I can turn it into a freelance gig. That's what I did. So I started as a one-man team, and the work became a lot, because if you search SEO Philippines, we're actually my business is ranking number 1. So we get clients perpetually every day.
Okay.
Right? So we get leads, and when we close the deal, it's a 7-digit contract every closing. So and it takes a lot of work. So I started hiring people. So from a one-man team, I grew it to like 5, 10. Now we're a 70-man team, and most of us are based in BF Parañaque, but we also have a team in Bacolod now. It's a back office.
Oh, wow.
That's really how I started. It's really humble beginnings. I have no investors. I still own 100% of the business. And then I started other businesses that are vertically related to it. Such as Cignal is a social media marketing and production company. And Queries is a software as a service. And Workplace is a co-working space. I also have Rich Tech right now, which is an ERP software development company. So I don't own 100% of all. Like Rich Tech, I own minority shares, but a good chunk as well. But SEO Hacker, Cignal, and Workplace and Queries, yun talaga. Majority ako doon.
And not only do you own 4 businesses and your humble beginnings, it's so inspiring, but you also are a published author.
Yeah.
And I love the name because right off the bat, it just hooks you. CEO at 22.
Yeah.
So could you tell us more about that?
The book is, when I wrote it, I really wanted to write the book. Right? That's my bucket list. And I knew at the get-go that my God-given talent is writing. Because when I was younger, I'd write in like the long yellow paper. I'd write stories scribbled there. So I said I wanted to write a book. And my firstborn was gonna be delivered into the world when I was 25 years old. So I said, if God takes me home earlier and my kid doesn't really know who I am, I'd like to write a book that at least tells him how I struggled to start my business and how I graduated and how I was kicked out of home and how I had no money. I would eat skyflakes the whole day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's where I was. So I wrote the book. I finished it in 3 months, but the editing process took a year. That was very long.
Okay.
So if you read the book, there's no grammatical or typo errors. And it's a fully colored book. The title CEO at 22, I started the business officially registered in DTI when I was 22. But I started freelancing at 21.
Okay, okay.
But CEO at 21 doesn't sound too catchy. So I wrote it CEO at 22. And that's my first book.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a step away from Catch 22. But when you look at, you're here to also talk about leadership in general, especially in this digital age. It feels like the people that you do have to lead, they're fleeting almost. Kasi the attention span and not only that, the work span of people it's a lot shorter compared to siguro yung time natin.
Yes.
Sama nun. But when you look at being a good leader, for the digital age, for people who live in the digital space, who a lot of them are digital nomads, what do you feel are the essential requirements for a good leader these days?
So one of the things that JCI Manila stands for is being a university of leaders. And if you want to learn leadership, this is one of the best places to be. Now, transitioning that to the digital age, what the digital age has done is somewhat to catalyze really good work that you can do wherever in the world, but it also drove a wedge between management and grassroots.
Yeah.
Kind of. Because a lot of the younger generation now want more flexibility. They want more time on their hands. They want things done quicker, on demand, faster, which is not the way it works. If you look at work, a lot of work today actually, it's not on demand. You gotta put in the time, the effort, and grunt along with it.
Is it the patience to teach patience?
That's part of it. And the reason why a lot of businesses face high attrition rate and are losing employees and losing clients, because when you lose employees, you lose the continuity to the clients. It's because they don't focus on culture.
Okay.
Culture happens whether you like it or not. The only question is it wild grown or is it cultivated? So my talk on Friday is going to be how to create the best culture. You see, I do SEO, that's my main business. And if I'm gonna be honest, my competitors can just reverse engineer what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right? They can check. How are the backlinks built? What keywords are Sean using for his clients? How do they do their research? Sure. They can learn all that and try to replicate it, but one thing they can never replicate is the culture. Because mine's intentionally grown.
Okay.
Theirs was wild grown. And wild grown culture usually breeds toxicity, sanction incompetence, unresolved conflict, gossip, which is the enemies of unity.
I think Mo, we can spoil his talk. Pa-define naman.
I know. I was gonna ask him. Can you basically concise your talk into like 2 minutes, maybe for our show, and just tell the main points?
No, because you mentioned wild and intentionally grown.
Yes.
And obviously those
Yeah.
are, you divide them into those two. How would you define those two?
Wild grown is you as the leader, you're just doing the work and what must be done. And you're allowing culture to just take on a life of its own.
Okay.
When you cultivate your culture, that means you have a set of core values that everyone lives by. You hire by it, you fire by it, you promote by it. So, for example, at SEO Hacker, we have 6 core values. Grit, respect for work, unity, being a challenger, experimentation, clarity. And these things we really uphold. We memorize there's write-ups that I personally wrote. So per core value, there's 2 sentences. So for example, for grit, I embody determination, tenacity, and resilience. I use mistakes as opportunities to get better, not reasons to quit. And then there's a quote, the true joy in life is to be a force of fortune instead of a feverish, selfish little cloud of ailments and grievances. Complaining that the world itself will not make you that happy. So that's by George Bernard Shaw.
Yeah.
So everyone in my team has to memorize and recite that every week.
Or
They'll
else.
be called by at random. Or else.
We bring up your team over here. I think some of them are here. Let's put them to the test. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I assure you, they can memorize it. No? Kasi by random namin tinatanong eh. If they don't, it affects their performance review.
Okay.
Well, and it's interesting that you bring up wild-grown culture.
Yeah.
And you said that's technically when people gossip, and there's lots of toxicity in the workplace. What are the most common toxic work culture do you see now, like here in the Philippines?
Oh, gossip is really the main enemy of unity. You know why unity is so important? They have a study. The strongest horse is the Belgian draft horse, and one horse can pull 8 tons. That's a lot. That's 8,000 pounds. If you have 2 horses, they can pull not 16, they can pull 24. So it's 3 times, but you only have 2 horses. But you know what they found out? If they grew the horses together, they would sleep together, train together, eat together. They can pull 32 tons. So where does the other 8 ton come from? It's magic. And that's the magic of unity. Wouldn't you want to have just 2 Belgian draft horses, but they can pull the maximum weight that they can? Right? And as a business owner, that matters a lot. Because if you have 2 Belgian draft horses and they're not united, they're kicking each other, they're going different directions, that's gonna make so much problems for you. And instead of you firefighting problems outside, you're trying to firefight your internal problems. So that's why unity is so important. And gossip is the problem with us Pinoys. It's our favorite pastime.
The Mariteses.
Favorite pastime. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Itong dalawa nga lang eh.
It's really hard to get rid of that actually in
It is.
any workplace.
It is.
Like gossiping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you can do is really try to minimize it by letting people know how serious you are about it. So
Okay.
we tell people, if you gossip, we will warn you once. And then we gotta let you go. We gotta part ways.
hirap
Because we
nun,
don't- Yeah.
It is.
And if
I mean, well, it's good though. At least it sets boundaries
Yeah.
in the
It does.
workplace, because
Yeah.
otherwise
Yeah.
people will keep going.
Yes, you have to be very clear about it.
Yeah.
And then if they gossip and someone who upholds our core value, because they memorize it, hears it, or they're being the recipient of it, I teach them, this is what you say. Tell them, we don't do that here. I'm sorry, we don't do that here.
Yeah, you know what, Sean? I wish we had an hour to talk, and I appreciate that you gave us like a little mini preview
Sure.
of your event coming up. But can you invite our viewers where they can actually get to see your whole talk
Sure,
in person?
yeah. So if you want to join us this Friday for Business Beyond Limits, we're gonna have Francis Kong, Chinky Tan, Anthony Pangilinan, Carlo Oples, Steve C. We're gonna have Jason Law there, and I'll be there as well to talk about hiring and culture. There's 7 of us speakers, gonna be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's at SMX Aura. Again, this is happening April 4. If you want to join us there, you can buy your tickets online at businessbeyondlimits.ph. Businessbeyondlimits.ph. The program is there, program time, topics per speaker. You can see all the details there. All you gotta do is go there, buy your ticket, check out using your credit card or GCash, and then on the day, just bring a valid ID. We'll give you your ID to wear, and you can go in the venue.
Well, thank you so much, Sean, for coming and giving us a little pep talk. We really appreciate it.
Likewise. Thank you for having me. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
you've killed all of our chismes for the rest of at least a month.
At least a month.
I think. Thank you so much. Sean C is a
Thank you,
CEO,
thank you.
digital marketing expert, and leadership speaker. You can catch him this Friday. So when we return, I'll speak with a visionary geologist who is revolutionizing disaster risk reduction and preparedness strategies. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Don't go away. And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. We'll start off first with the local weather and take a look at the three weather systems currently affecting the country today. First is the northeasterly wind flow that's impacting the eastern section of northern Luzon. Now, the second one that we do have to watch out for is the Intertropical Convergence Zone, or the ITCZ. Now, this is impacting the southern part of Mindanao, as you can see here at the bottom of your screen. Now, the other thing that we are watching out for is the easterlies. Now, this is affecting the rest of the country. As you can see here, three weather systems to watch out for. Let's go first to the northern Luzon area, where the northeasterly surface wind flow will result in cloudy skies with rains over Batanes, Cagayan, including the Babuyan Islands, Apayao, Isabela, and Aurora. So all of these areas here affected by the winds coming up in the north. Now let's go down south. Let's go to Mindanao first. We mentioned the ITCZ affecting the country there. This will bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms to Davao Oriental, Davao Occidental, Sarangani, South Cotabato, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi. So all of these areas here affected by the ITCZ, the southern part of the country in particular. Now, we go to the rest of the country. We mentioned the easterlies are affecting that. We're going to start off with Metro Manila. Now, in Metro Manila and the rest of the country, you can expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Now, this, once again, is due to the easterlies. Now, we always have been talking about the heat index, tag-init nga ngayon. So let's take a closer look at the heat index forecast issued by Pag-asa. Currently, 3 areas are experiencing severe heat and fall under the danger zone. Dagupan City in Pangasinan leads the list with a forecasted heat index of 44 degrees Celsius. Followed closely behind are Iba, Zambales, and Vera Catanduanes with a heat index of 42 degrees Celsius. Once again, the heat indices also take into account the humidity, so this is the temperature you will feel on your skin. Other areas experiencing intense heat and falling under extreme caution with a heat index of 41 degrees Celsius include Bacnotan, La Union, San Jose, Occidental Mindoro, Coron, Palawan, Cuyo, Palawan, Dumangas, Iloilo, Butuan, and Agusan del Norte. Additional locations under extreme caution with a heat index of 40 degrees Celsius include Metro Manila, Muñoz, Nueva Ecija, Subic Bay, Olongapo, San Ildefonso, Bulacan, Camilig, Tarlac, Hacienda Luisita and Tarlac City, Sangni Point in Cavite, Tanawan, Batangas, Pili, Camarines Sur, Zamboanga City, and Hinatuan in Surigao del Sur. With these severe heat conditions, it is crucial to take precautionary measures, stay hydrated, avoid direct sunlight for long periods, and wear light and loose-fitting clothing. If you are outdoors, take regular breaks in cool and shady areas and please pay close attention to your body. And if you feel dizzy, nauseous, or unwell, go and seek cooling shelters immediately. Stay safe and be vigilant in these extreme weather conditions. Now, speaking of weather conditions, talk about the sea conditions now, where there are no gale warnings in effect at the moment, which means fishermen, mariners can all venture out to sea without much worry. However, once again, important to remain vigilant and stay informed about any weather updates that may be happening in your locality and that may be issued as well. Weather conditions can change quickly, so it is best to prioritize safety and be prepared. Now, we move on where we talk about how the Philippines faces immense challenges when it comes to natural disasters with frequent earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and powerful typhoons. Now, despite these challenges, innovative solutions are emerging to improve disaster preparedness and resilience. Filipino scientists and innovators are at the forefront of developing advanced technologies to help communities better understand and assess, as well prepare for these hazards. At the upcoming 50th International Exhibition of Inventions in Geneva, Ms. Mabelen Cahulogan, the officer in charge of the Geology and Geophysics Research and Development Division at PhilVox, will be presenting groundbreaking innovations such as the Hazard Hunter PH and Geoanalytics PH platforms. Now, to discuss these disaster risk innovations, we are joined today via Zoom by Mabelen Cahulogan. Good morning. It's a beautiful day. Thank you so much. I felt like I said a mouthful introducing what you'll be talking about in Geneva. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, good morning.
All right, so
thank you for inviting me.
No worries. Well, it's so great to have you here. First of all, can you tell us a bit about yung role niyo po sa PhilVox DOST and of course the main objectives of the Geology and Geophysics Research and Development Division?
So I'm a geologist and I work under the Geology and Geophysics R&D division. Our task is mainly to map geological hazards brought by earthquake and volcanic eruptions, and that would include ground rupture, liquefaction, tsunami, and others. For volcanic eruptions, we map lahar, lava, pyroclastic density currents, and others. We are also a part of a team that produces innovative solutions to communicating the information that we have generated. So that's the reason why Hazard Hunter PH and Geoanalytics PH were developed. So for Hazard Hunter PH, one just needs to go to the Hazard Hunter platform. It's at hazardhunter.georis.gov.ph, and one just has to double tap or double click a location on the map or put in a Google search bar, which is integrated in the system, the location of the area that they want to assess. And all the hazards information and assessment will be given them at a second or two, depending on the internet connection. So this is very crucial for planning purposes and for investment purposes. For Hazard Hunter PH, it's not just confined to the hazards that we are generating, but it also shows information related to hydromet hazards, including floods and rain-induced landslide, and as well as severe wind and storm surge. Those hazards information are generated by our national agencies, namely PAG-ASA and as well as MGB. So the process really in developing the system is a whole of government approach, which we really need at the moment so that the public and other sectors of society will be able to access information right at their fingertips in just one platform.
It feels that this
For
is...
Geoanalytics,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, for Geoanalytics PH, the main target for this would be local government. And for local government units, they can generate immediately hazard assessment reports and as well as information necessary for their planning purposes and decision-making process, which is very important so that they can produce projects related to disaster risk reduction at a much easier way and as well as in an efficient manner, which we really need at the moment because we don't know when a typhoon or when an earthquake will strike us.
You know, this feels very timely considering we're actually still continuing our coverage of the recent earthquake in Myanmar and in Thailand. When you take a look at how this could actually help disaster preparedness in the country, you mentioned Hazard Hunter a while ago and listed down all its features. Do you feel that this could actually inform people more or maybe even educate them on what needs to be done to secure yung location nila, especially if their houses, their homes, or their workplaces are in particular areas of concern?
Yep. The reason that Hazard Hunter was produced or was developed was for us to be able to communicate well the hazards. First, for them to identify their location with respect to the nearest active fault, for example, if we are looking at earthquake hazards, we developed the fault finder, if you know about this already, back in 2016, but we thought that that would be limiting to just active faults information. So the Hazard Hunter PH not just gives the proximity or the location with respect to a known active fault, but also the recommendations that the public needs to employ. So, for example, if you click on the screen, you would know the proximity, your proximity with respect to fault, but then the recommendation also, what now if you're near a fault or far from the active fault.
Ms. Babri,
we also want to...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you also mentioned something that I really want to touch on as well. You mentioned that this could actually be used in terms of making sure that your investments are sound, considering it is going to be the natural hazards and of course the potential risks could actually impact the appetite for investment.
Yes. Actually, banks are already partnering with us to integrate the Hazard Hunter PH application into their own information systems because they see the value of actually evaluating assets with respect to their exposure level to natural hazard. So, for example, if a particular area is transected by a fault, they would have to require the borrowers mitigation plans and as well as preparedness plans. So not just fault, but as well as other hazards like floods or landslides.
All right, so now I want to talk about geoanalytics because you mentioned this is more geared towards the LGU. Just a bit of clarification there. Is it a tool for them to actually to be able to input data themselves, or is it supposed to be something that they are going to be able to use as a decision-making tool for whatever projects that they will end up doing in a given period of time?
So the Geoanalytics PH actually has a back-end tool, which is the GeoMapper, where the local government can input their exposure information, meaning the location of their buildings or assets and other information that needs assessment. The Geoanalytics is the front-end application that shows us per barangay, for example, or municipality, city, and province, the exposure level of particular assets and even the population. It will show us the number of people per age and sex, if these are exposed to or not to a particular hazards. And from there, local government can actually formulate this science-based decision-making or decisions for their plans. So, for example, if they have more senior citizens and children, then they can actually create more facilities that would cater to this age group.
Mabelin, how excited are you to share these in Geneva and really showcase these works, these efforts to a wider public in the world?
Well, this is our first actually for eVolx. Hazard Hunter has a patent already, and this is the first for our institute. Geoanalytics PH, we have applied for patent, and we are excited to actually share the technology to other countries because as far as we know, there is no country yet that has integrated all the natural hazards information into one platform and at the tip of the finger, accessible to anyone. So Hazard Hunter and Geoanalytics are actually free of charge and can be accessed by anyone, anywhere, as long as they have internet connection. So I think other countries will really learn a lot from us.
Well, Ms. Mabelin, we're really hoping that this does make a big difference and makes the world a safer place, considering the need, especially in the region as of late. Really appreciate your insights, sharing your expertise, and hopefully we hear more great things from these efforts in the upcoming future. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Now, we've got more stories for you after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, oversized layers and futuristic cutouts, those are among the next level outfits shown at Shanghai Fashion Week. The sneak peek from our very own Ferdy Salvador.
Fashion lovers, listen up! Shanghai Fashion Week 2025 just gave us some serious style moments. And if you missed it, don't worry, I've got the highlights. Nandito na tayo sa venue ng Shanghai Fashion Week ng Autumn-Winter 2025. So, andito na tayo sa venue. Papasok kami sa may VIP section para walang pila because only for Billionaire News Channel, palaging VIP. I was able to catch the latest collections from Short Sentence and AS-Dalio. And let me tell you, these shows did not disappoint. Short Sentence, the brainchild of Shanghai-based designer Guan Lin, showcases a playful fusion of casual and structured style. Models rock oversized layers, asymmetrical cuts, and bold pops of color. Think a striking red sleeve and vibrant stripes. I am with my friend Bim. Siya ay isang pinaka-famous na influencer sa Vietnam.
Oh, not
And
not that.
you are. And nandito kami sa Shanghai Fashion Week Day 2. So we're gonna be watching AS-Dalio. And I'm excited to be always with you, my friend.
Me too.
Lumabas ang mga fashionista dito sa Shanghai Fashion Week. At makikita nyo, iba't ibang outfit na fashion forward ang akin na lang pinipresent. Everything from goth to super chic, everything is here for you to see. So let's go watch the fashion show AS-Dalio this evening. Talking about making an entrance, AS-Dalio's show opened with a majestic horse, instantly setting the mood for high drama and next level fashion. From there, the collection served up sleek monochrome looks, fierce silhouettes, and statement-making details like oversized capes, fur, structured leather, and futuristic cutouts. With show-stopping designs, global fashion icons in attendance, and Shanghai cementing its status as a style powerhouse, this year's Fashion Week was nothing short of spectacular. Until next season, this has been Ferdy Salvador, Billionaire News Channel.
Well, April Fool's Day may be over for some people, but that did not stop a group from celebrating the day by climbing one of Metro Manila's most infamous peaks. On Facebook, Albert Labrador and his friend celebrated 6 years since their climb to the so-called Mount Kamuning in Quezon City in full hike gear. He joked that they trekked the notorious overpass without supplemental oxygen, dangerous, and guides or porters. Labrador concluded his post with, quote, "We did not conquer it, we are one with the overpass." The steep Kamuning overpass has been a running joke on social media, sparking countless parodies. As, again, you don't have to go far away to hike here in the Philippines.
Yeah, no, honestly, I live near that overpass, and there used to be a coffee shop down the street from it where I can sit and just watch people go up, and I don't know how they do that because it's literally
Have you tried?
no way. It's so steep. I just watch
And
people
it's scary
do
too
it.
once you're on the top part and then you look down like, ooh.
Yeah,
It's so steep and it's so hot. There's no cover. So Mount Kamuning na talaga, that overpass.
That's why you need the gear.
Yeah, actually.
That is so cool.
Uy, walang
It's like,
oxygen
this
yan,
is so funny. Like, what a genius idea, honestly.
You have to go around.
I don't really
So
understand why they made it that high. It's just crazy scary to be on top of that.
No, sometimes there's like wires nga that are like dangling. And I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
oh my gosh, if somebody passes that, baka they'll get electrocuted. It's scary. So I just sip my coffee and watch people climb Mount Kamuning.
So depende yan kung swerte ka.
Yan yung base
You
camp.
cross
Yan yung base camp.
Oh,
yung coffee shop.
Parang Mount Everest. This is the Mount Everest of the Philippines.
Metro Manila naman. Metro Manila.
Okay, guys, this is one of our favorite segments
Kaya
on
ba
the
yan?
show. I know. Is Wednesday going to be your lucky day or not? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Let's hear it, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope ng April 2, Wednesday. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, iwasan ang office politics. Just do your job. Orange at 8. Year of Dogs naman tayo. Forgiveness is good for the heart. Silver at 5. Kay Tiger naman, mag-budget ng maayos para masigurado ang savings. White at 3. Rabbit naman tayo, peace of mind ba ang hanap mo? Relax and pray. Yellow at 9. Kay Dragon naman be confident sa skill mo. Huwag mag-hesitate. Green at 1. Snake naman tayo, maging maingat sa mga projects sa work. Plan every move. Red at 6. Ito na Horsey, magpakita ng malasakit sa iyong trabaho. Makakuha ka dito ng respeto. Blue at 4. Kay Ship naman tayo, ang positive mindset equals to winning work ethics. Pink at 7. Monkey naman ang pagiging creative ay magbibigay ng bagong opportunities. Purple at 5. Kay Rooster naman tayo, ang pagiging maingat sa investment ay makakabawas ng panganib. Orange at 8. Sa Year of the Dog naman tayo, gamitin ang Holy Week para mag-reflect sa iyong next career move. Gold at 2. Kay Pig naman tayo, huwag maging magastos. One day billionaire, your budget will thank you. Gold at 2. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan ang horoscope for the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day!
Thank you so much, Master Hans Kua. So, he talked about work ethics for me. I have good work ethics. I believe so. And
Okay.
Pao, you need to show what?
Compassion.
Malasakit and respect in the workplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm respectful.
Or are you?
Even direct is saying, where, yes.
You know what? She didn't say it to me, so.
She just said it to you.
I love you, direct. Direct's on my side. No booking. Direct's on my side. Direct's my bestie. I love you, Direct Harry.
You know, one of the few times you could actually hear direct.
This is the only because she said it so loud and with like and I said yes.
But she
Yeah,
only
it's all
said it to
about
you.
respect. And you know what? Talking about respect, we're talking about another relationship that requires respect up
That's
next.
right. Because up ahead, guys,
that was a good one.
marriage is a vow in sickness and in health. But how about in plateaus? That conversation in today's Love Hacks. After the break, it's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
It's a form of love, plateau.
I know. Hello and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. In today's edition of Love Hacks, Coach V weighs in on a sticky situation. What do you do if your partner has become stagnant? Take it away, Coach V.
Love hacks, we got you. No need to be sad. Love hacks, we got you.
Good morning, loves. It's a beautiful day. Coach V here, bringing you a brand new way to level up your love life. Welcome to Love Hacks. Today's episode, real talk, real story, real struggle. We are responding to a public forum post by a husband who says, I'm fed up with my wife.
I'm fed up with my wife. We've been married for 10 years and parang di siya nagmamature or nag-i-improve ng sarili niya. I keep telling her things that I don't like and she needs to improve. She will only fix it for a few days and then go back to her old self. Constant shouting sa mga kids, pagiging tamad sa bahay, drinking outside with friends until midnight. Pati sarili niya, pinababayaan na niya. Excessive eating to the point na lumulobo na siya with matching double chin. Nagkaroon na din siya ng acne breakouts. I try to encourage her to exercise, eat less, but the same scenario, ilang days lang gagawa ng paraan, tapos balik na naman sa dati. Tapos magtataka siya kung bakit wala na akong gana sa kanya. Parang wala na din siyang pangarap ever since nagkaroon kami ng kids. Nag-school na yung mga kids and medyo nakakabawi na kami physically and financially. I try to ask her kung may gusto ba siya gawin or if may pangarap pa siya, but as usual, wala na. Gusto niya gusto niya lang maging housewife until she dies. Honestly, I still love her. But this constant back and forth is draining me to the point that I want to leave her. I had my issues before and I think I was able to fix them. Family at business na lang umiikot mundo ko now. Wala na ako naging bagong friends kasi inaway niya. To the point na nag-chat pa siya sa GC namin sa work para ipahiya ako. Sometimes, naiisip ko na magsimula na lang ulit. Don't get me wrong. She takes care of the kids and prepare meals for us. But yung consistency lang talagang wala. I did that medyo malacharo.
Can we applaud the VO muna?
Oh, sige.
Okay, like, that was, because first of all, we can do it because Mo doesn't understand it.
I don't know what just happened.
Okay. Pero let's just applaud the artistry.
Anne killed it. I don't know what voice or what person she was doing, but it sounded amazing.
That was my MMK Charo Santos.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pero on the topic naman, naman tayo.
Well, this is not just a simple tampuhan loves. No, we're talking about 10 years of marriage, 3 kids, and a man who feels drained, invisible, and nako, ready to walk away na siya. But bago ka mag-walk away, sir, let's break this down muna scientifically and emotionally. Let's talk about the silent killer of relationships. And if you are in a relationship, listen to this. It is called emotional burnout. Psychologist Dr. Elaine Aaron explains, yung constant emotional labor with zero appreciation or growth, it can make even the most loving partner feel empty. This guy isn't just bored, he is resentful. He's tried, he's tired, but he also feels unheard. Ladies, this is actually how men fall out of love. Not with a bang, but with a letter B, burnout. According to Dr. John Gottman, one of the biggest predictors of divorce is stonewalling. Ito yung when one partner tries to connect, suggest, or help, and the other just emotionally shuts them down. Sounds familiar, loves? Well, here are 3 science-backed love hacks you can try before you call it quits with your relationship. You ready? Well, number 1, mirror before the marriage. Yes, let's get brutally honest here. Yes, loves, your wife let herself go, but have you created a space where she feels safe to grow? According to Dr. Esther Perel, women lose emotional drive when they no longer feel seen as women, only as moms and housekeepers na lang. So ask yourself, when was the last time you genuinely affirmed her, not only as nanay or mommy, but as a woman? Kailan mo huling sinabi, oh, you're so sexy, you're so beautiful to me, kahit ang gulo ng bahay? Bro, baka naman ang last compliment na binigay mo, yung galing mong magluto, mami, ng sinigang. Again, ako, nawawala ang identity niya as a woman. Love hack number 2, baka naman she's not lazy. Nako, she could be depressed. Let's address the silent D, depression. Walang pangarap, no interest in self-care, shouting, eating, and acne. Withdrawal, nako, classic symptoms yan ng depression. Hindi siya tamad, baka naman she's in her survival mode. Science tells us, love, na women are twice as likely to suffer from depression, especially after giving birth. Especially then if they feel isolated or purposeless. So instead of saying, ayusin mo yung sarili mo, try this. Love, I miss the old you. Can I help you find her again? That tiny shift opens massive emotional doors. Love hack number 3, you schedule a State of the Union talk. It's actually you and your wife against the problem. And this is what high-performing couples do monthly. No kids dapat, no phones, no drama. Just ask each other these questions. You ready? How are you really feeling, my love? What's working in our marriage? What's not working for you? And what dream can I support this month? Pro tip, don't say fix you. Just say support you and I want to grow with you. Diba? It changes the languages. Yes, baka kasi ang sagot niya ay ewan o kaya ayoko yan sa simula. But consistency builds safety and safety builds connection. And connection, that brings back the desire. Now, we have some bonus hacks for you, loves. This is what you call the desire awakening mission. If you have a partner na parang wala ng purpose in life, try to give her a mission, pero dapat walang judgment. You could ask her, for example, loves, walang budget limit, wala tayong kids, walang rules. Anong gusto mong gawin this year? Then, whatever she says, support her dream. Maybe a dance class, maybe one guilt-free day a week, maybe coaching or therapy, whatever she wants to do to make her feel happy.
sa'yo, Coach V, kasi kung coaching sa'yo, single na siya ulit.
Ibig sabihin, ready na siya
Oo,
mag-date.
ready na siya mag-move on.
Yes.
Sobrang move on na.
Kaya,
But that's super interesting, just the whole dynamic of it, especially when you consider the... I mean, partners might not even know na depressed pala yung partner nila.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the
that's
dynamic
true.
changes. We don't know, Pao, but maybe Anne, you know, when there's kids, the dynamic changes, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's actually possible for one partner to feel unseen by your partner. Kasi you go through the daily motions, you get so busy with your responsibilities at home, at work, that, you know, para na lang kayong border mates.
Yeah,
di ba?
housemates,
Housemates.
friends.
Yeah, so that's why communication and openness in the relationship, especially in the marriage, is very important.
It's super interesting kasi yung example natin kanina, yung nagpadala ng letter, or rather the story that we got from online, you mentioned na wala nang pangarap yung partner niya.
Yeah.
Diba? So sakit nun, saklap nun.
and classic sign of person who's very demotivated.
For those who don't know what pangarap means, is hopes and dreams, right, Mo?
I can see Mo's
exactly. That's what it means.
Yes.
I can see.
I only understood half of the monologue, so I'm just trying to follow with what you're saying.
Loves, the next love hacks, we will bring in English questions.
I'm so sorry.
All right, so let's tell our loves the truth pagdating sa relationship. And, you know, relationship with a woman. You don't want a new woman, sir. You want your wife to feel new again. And maybe, just maybe, she wants the same thing too. If she's willing to walk with you, kahit mabagal, then yes, sir, she is worth it. But if you've tried everything na, nag-real effort ka na, patience, compassion, and nothing changes, well, remember this. You can never force somebody to grow. Pero sana, your love is so strong enough to inspire her to change. Remember, loves, people don't change when they are criticized. They change when they feel safe, seen, and supported. And yes, you who's watching right now, you might be just one real talk away from saving a love life you thought was lost. That's it for today, loves. This is Coach V giving you a real talk about real love. And hey, if you've got real stories about real love, heartbreak, or healing, message me on Instagram, Dating Coach V, and let's give you not just opinions, but real solutions to your real problems. Join me again tomorrow and have a beautiful day. Love you.
I'm so excited for that idea na people would message Coach V. Kasi I'm waiting for the person to volunteer to go on air here to talk about your problema.
Or not even just on air, like just do like a video Zoom kind of chat with us. That'd be
Hindi,
cool,
on air. Then yakapin natin kapag umiyak na sila. Ganun level.
So intense, first thing in the morning.
Well, you know, but then again, hopefully for those who are interested, we flashed the Coach V.
Dating
her
Coach V. Yes.
IG is open for messages. So yeah, I mean, like apart from looking for your own
Partner.
your own partner.
Yes.
Baka nga, the solutions to your love lives are there.
And don't forget, Coach V will respond to you any day, anytime.
Anytime.
3:20 in the morning.
She will respond to you 24/7 yung services niya.
Because heartbreak doesn't happen at a certain time, no?
Exactly.
It happens all the time.
Yes.
All day, every day.
Time.
Coach V, what you
Yes.
guys, or what you said earlier for your advice, that doesn't apply just to people with kids, right? That can be
Right.
anybody in long-term relationships.
Right.
So what's your advice to people before they reach that burnout phase?
Oh my gosh.
Kapag naramdaman na.
Absolutely. And this also goes for men and women, because there are also
Yes, that's
scenarios
true.
wherein men is the one going through this. Men
Yes.
are the ones going through possibly depression. So basically, like when this happens, ready na mag-walk out yung partner, no? So even before this, I would highly recommend yung one date a week na talagang kayo lang.
Yes.
And outside of your house, because when you're inside your house, ang daming kalat, di kayo makapag-focus sa isa't isa, di ba, Miss Eileen? Pero pag kayong dalawa lang, ayan, mag-uusap talaga kayo ng real deal about your relationship.
You know what? Me and my husband, we actually do that. Like, there's one day in a week that we go out and we don't bring our daughter. So it's just us. It's very important because you just focus on the two of you. And minsan hindi kami masyadong nag-uusap like serious conversation, but just the togetherness and really just focusing on each other, like eating together, that's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Velcro wallet, did he upgrade
Velcro,
na?
medyo.
Medyo? Paano yung medyo?
I'm like, wait.
Nakaano na ba siya?
Velcro.
Card na lang.
We're old na for Velcro wallets. So nag-ano na siya, nag-move on na siya.
Okay.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's good to know.
But Coach V, we really appreciate you being on the show again. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, you look really tan. You look like enjoying.
I'm so jealous.
Enjoying Bicol. For a quick break. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you next time.
All right, see you.
All right, so that's it for us this Wednesday, April 2. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us here on It's a Beautiful Day.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Make today unforgettable by finding joy in the ordinary and spreading love and kindness wherever you go.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great Wednesday ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Only here on
It's a beautiful day!